it's Liddy from Something Less Boring, and we are carrying on with our theme of trees. So today I'm going to take you through the process to create a watercolour painting of a deciduous tree, a tree that loses its leaves. And we're going to go a bit brighter with this tree, what with hopefully spring just around the corner. Let's see if we can get that nice fresh spring green into our tree. So you want to start with a nice light green in your palette. So we're not going to draw this first of all, this is just a straightforward painting exercise, because it doesn't really matter what shape your tree is for this little practice. So that light green, I want that to be a little fresher, so I'm going to put just a touch of yellow into that. Not too much because I don't want it to go really lime green, but I do want that lovely fresh green that you get in the leaves when they first come out. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm using a slightly larger round brush. You can stipple for this, and you can actually use the tip of the brush, and what we're going to do is we're just going to start to fill our page. We'll do a little bit of stippling there, a bit of dabbing with just the tip of that brush to create a generic tree shape. So you're going to get slightly lighter and darker areas of colour just where the paint overlaps, and then you get the layering of colour. So mix up a bit more colour on my palette. And I'm just going to start to bring that back down and in. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to stop there because I don't want to overwork it. Excellent. So I'm just going to build up a bit more of my light colour. So that's my lightest green on my palette with some yellow. And then next to that, I want to take my darkest green that I've got in my palette. Again, quite nice and thick. It's important that your colour is quite thick when you're stippling, because too watery, it won't work. You won't, because what you're trying to achieve is almost a print of the shape of the brush and the individual hairs in the brush. And that's what makes stippling so effective. If your brush is too wet, then you're just going to get a splat more than the actual definition of the shape of the brush. Okay, right, so I've got my light green and my dark green. What I actually want to do is bring some of that dark green just into a little bit of that light green. And I'm going to go for a second layer just to start to add a bit of weight to this tree. I'm probably going to keep it down one side and near the bottom of the tree. Not too much, just a little subtle dabs of colour here and there. Lovely, okay. I'm going to go back to my palette and add more of that dark green into that little area. I want to try and leave some of that light green there, just in case we need to come back to that. So that's a little bit darker still, can you see? I'm just going to dab that in here and there, maybe near some of the edges. Okay, lovely. Excellent. So our tree is it's starting to take shape and it's starting to look a little fuller and a little thicker. Okay, I'll go back to my dark green now. I want to start adding some of that darker green in. Can you see where that's catching and spreading where the paint's wet? You could wait and actually give your layers a chance to fully dry before doing this darker layer. That will equally work just as well. And actually you'll probably find you get more definition between the layers if you let it dry a little. So try both. Try working quite quickly like this with wet on wet, and try going a little slower and working onto dry layers. Okay. And I'm going to go in with one last green layer, and I want this to be quite thick. I'm going to add a little blue, my darkest blue. That's a Prussian blue that I have on my palette. So I just want to add that blue in just to make it a touch darker, that green. Excellent. I want it to go a bit thicker than that as well. I want this to be quite a dark layer. I'm just going to drop that darker shade of green in, and that should really pop against the light green. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. So what I want to do, I want to go to my dark brown on my palette. And I just want to paint in the suggestion of a tree trunk. So I've just split that trunk there, so you get the impression that that's a large tree with a large tree trunk. Just even that out a little bit there. Lovely. And I'm going to go back to that darker colour, so more dark blue, more dark green. Just going to drop that darker colour in. Really adding some weight to that tree now. Excellent. And then where you just want it maybe to be a touch lighter, blend it a little bit more. There we go. So there's your tree. Then I'm going to come back to the tree trunk and just splash some green into there again, just to cast that tree to my page so it looks like it's on the ground. I'm going to get a touch of shadow on there, and you can just keep playing around with that and waiting for it to dry. So here my colours have bled into each other quite a lot, so I think I would then let that dry and go back to my darkest colour and put a further layer on. But you can just keep building that up. Okay, and again, change the size of them, smaller trees, larger trees, just give it a go and have a play around. And it's a really good exercise to do. It's just straight painting, no drawing. Okay, well, as always, let us know how you get on. You can share on social media, you can visit us at our website, somethinglessboring.co.uk, and we'd just love to see and hear how you're getting on. Okay, thank you.